I got this phone call from my father stating he and I are moving to Italy. He met a woman, she's amazing, we're gonna travel the world, and you're gonna love it. And I thought to myself, I don't think I'll love it. This just sounds insane. My mom was still sick. I wasn't just gonna up and leave my mother. He was just, you're not going? Okay, well, I'm still going. My mom passed away about a month and a half later. When my father moved back to the United States, I was excited to hear that he was back. But in the last 6 or 7 years, he has not reached out or given me the opportunity to get to see him. My father told me out of the blue, I've met this woman online. He went off on a tangent about how he is 62 and she is 32, and they've never met in person. They got married over the internet. I said, excuse me? My father told me her name is Maria and she lives in Texas. She works at a grocery store. She's deaf from a car accident. She has this inheritance that comes from the German government. She must find someone who loves her for her before she can get this inheritance. My father doesn't find any of this odd. Sadly, I wasn't surprised, but I did believe that he was being scammed or catfished.
Well, joining me virtually is Shelby. Shelby, you're concerned that your father is being taken advantage of, correct?
Yes.
And you're wondering why he's being naive about this? Is that a fair word to use?
Yeah, I don't understand why he's believing in a person he hasn't met.
You've got to also be wondering why he's not believing you. I mean, you're his own daughter, and granted, you haven't had a close relationship with him. She's virtual, you're real, and you say you haven't seen your dad in person since age 12, but then he did know you.
Mhm.
And now, your mother died in 2013, correct?
Correct.
I'm very sorry for your loss. I know that's difficult. You were just 12 years old when she passed, right?
Correct.
And that's very difficult. I know it's tough to lose a parent anytime, but it's always tough when you're just a child. And it was at that time that your mother was sick and he asked you to up and leave and go with him overseas, right?
Correct, yes.
You refused and said, I'm not leaving my mother while she's sick. And sure enough, a month and a half after he bailed, your mother did pass away.
If I'd gone with him, I wouldn't seen my mother in her last days. I would have lost that opportunity.
So he left you there to bear that burden of your mother in her last days without him to lean on or to support you.
Right, yeah.
What does he say to you about this Maria and the $10 million inheritance coming out of Germany?
If I tell him how much money I need to get through college in a year or two after, he'll give it to me. As long as I believe in Maria and I'm nice to her and I welcome her into our family. It's very real. He believes full-heartedly.
Okay, so this money, in his opinion, is coming. Is he a gold digger?
I don't think so. I think he truly believes he's in love with her.
Uh-huh. But there is the $10 million.
Right, which can't hurt. That's got to be nice too.
I've been in a relationship with a young lady by the name of Maria that I met online about 2.5 years ago. The moment I saw her picture, after I picked my jaw up off the ground, I heard bells, I heard angels sing, I heard the harps. She just is gorgeous. Since I met Maria, we've texted sometimes 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a day. About a year after we met, she told me that she had an inheritance that was worth $8.8 million. Now that's changed, it's been an investment, and it's raised up to $10.6 million. Her parents stipulated in her will for her to be married before she could get that money. She told me, I want to marry you so we can share it and live the good life together. She says, don't ever consider it my money. She says, it's our money.
What does Maria think about your relationship with your daughter, Shelby?
I'm honest with her. I know it's forced a lot, actually. And she knows that I love her dearly. I would do anything for her. And I haven't been able to. You know, money makes the world turn.
Well,
I mean, I could love her, of course.
Well, this is the first time that you've actually seen Shelby in 7 years. How does she look to you?
Like her mother. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
She is. She's looking at smiles. Now tell me that girl ain't pretty. Looks a little bit like me.
Do you feel badly about leaving her to deal with her mother's death by herself?
Of course, but no, you know, we remember things differently a little bit. Now, I'm not doubting her. You know, I mean, she remembers things the way she remembers, and I do as well. But no, I didn't leave until her mother had passed away. I got the news from her aunt.
Well, you were still there
friend.
when her mother passed away?
Yeah, and they came over and told me she has passed away.
You were in town, but you were definitely not there for me. You did not show up
Let
to
me
the
explain that.
or the funeral.
She didn't need me. You know, she had people who loved her around her. She didn't need
Right.
me. We were respects.
But you, my
And I
father, I
cared.
would have loved to have you there. I lost one
For
parent.
you. That's what I know. I don't
I
understand,
lost
sweetheart.
one parent, and then I lost another because you chose to leave. Yes.
All right. But when they came over to tell me, they said, you know, Dave, it's going to be a distraction for Shelby. We'd rather you didn't come to the funeral, but you can if you like, but we'd prefer you didn't. And I kind of agreed with that, you know. You got enough on your mind. I know you need my help. I know you need my, but I don't know how to explain it any better, sweetheart. Shelby, I'm human. I know I could have done better. You know what? I was pretty devastated myself because I know
Understand.
I don't want to go into details. It breaks my heart. She's a good woman. We just weren't meant for each other.
Let me
Yes,
jump
sir.
in and ask you something here. You say I'm human. Since you're human, when you say that, that's just kind of another way of saying you're not perfect, that you can
By
make
no means.
mistakes, right?
Biggest one I've made in a long time, sir.
But humans make mistakes. According to you, here's what you know about Maria. Her name is Maria Donna Walker, and she was born July 15th, 1988. She's 32 years old, grew up in Germany, moved to California and then to Texas. Her parents are deceased, car accident, 7 years ago. Now, her dad, John Walker, mom, you don't know her name, and her location is a little fuzzy because at one point she said Austin, but then when you brought that up later, she said, no, I said Houston. And you said, no, you said Austin. She said, no, I said Houston. So she's either Austin or Houston. There's some fuzziness about that. But as I said, she's 32, works at a grocery store named Piggly Wiggly or
No.
Royal Blue. She was divorced in her 20s, and she's now married to you with a 5-year-old daughter named Karen. And she does have a disability because she's partially deaf, a car accident, but different from the one in which her parents were killed.
Yes, exactly right. It's the store. I just can't remember the name of it. It doesn't come up very much. It's not Piggly Wiggly. It was
Royal
long story,
Blue.
but-
Royal Blue.
May I clarify on that?
Yes.
Piggly Wiggly is where she told me that she worked. And
Yes, she
once I
did.
brought it up that there is no Piggly Wiggly in Texas, she told me, oh yeah, I don't work there. Sorry, wrong conversation. So I asked her where she worked,
Yeah.
and she said, oh, I don't know the name of it.
Okay, but she can only text because she can't hear very well, and she's too shy to have a video call.
She's promised me a call and then backs out and says, I'm not comfortable with that. I'm too shy.
Okay, why does she not have a video call with you, David?
I don't know.
Well,
Honestly, I don't know.
You're married.
I never. Well, yeah, but I just never thought about it. She is who she is. She has her feelings and her shortcomings, and everyone does. You know, I don't know. I just never thought about it. Not the first time.
You've never thought about wanting to see this woman on the screen.
Well, sure I have, Dr. Phil. I'm
Well, you
not
just
great
said
at
I've
it,
never thought about it.
But it is what it is. You know, I can't change that. She has her feelings, and I trust her. I don't think she's ever lied to me.
You told your daughter Shelby we are married, so she contacted her and said, you guys are married? I thought you were just engaged. And she said, oh, these questions are just too much for me. But if he said we're married, then okay, we're married.
It just felt like she was blowing me off, you know? She didn't want to face the actual question. So I don't know. I'll talk to you later. I don't want to deal with it.
Okay.
Did you frame your marriage certificate, your marriage license? I mean, I'm sure you're proud of it.
No, sir. I have a feeling we were never really engaged. I asked her to marry me, and I talked to the lawyer soon after, not that day, and said, "Well, you want to be married? Can you arrange it?" And he says, "Yes, we can do that over the internet." And we were married, so it might have been just a matter of days. I have no explanation.
And who
The only
married
thing
you?
is that I can imagine. I don't know. That was up to the lawyer.
Well, no, somebody had to pronounce you man and wife.
Yeah.
Was it a judge? Was it a preacher?
I have no idea.
So you just signed your name on a piece of paper and some
Blank
lawyer
piece of
told
paper,
you,
yeah.
okay, now you're married?
Yes.
Man, I'm going to be careful where I write my name.
Yeah, I ended up out to sea. It kind of, you know what I mean?
What's the lawyer's name?
Michael, and I don't know his last name. She's told me, but it just hasn't been an issue.
Okay, you were married by a lawyer and you don't know his last name. Okay.
I don't remember it. She's mentioned it. It's kind of like the store situation.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I
seems
don't
like.
dwell on it.
Okay, so here's the situation on the marital status. He sent his signature on a blank paper, and a lawyer called and said, you're married. You never saw a marriage certificate, and according to Texas law, you must be present or sign an affidavit and have proof of identification for a marriage license. And Maria told Shelby they are married if David says so. Did you provide this lawyer with proof of identification and sign an affidavit in front of a notary?
No, I did not do the affidavit, but yes, I sent all the my phone. My driver's license, Social Security, everything involved. They had me investigated, so.
I'll bet they did.
You're killing me here, Phil.
That's the paperwork for your marriage certificate. That's all the paperwork you've got is your signature. I've blurred your last name, so that was the paperwork. You just wrote your name on a blank piece of paper.
That was what I was instructed to do.
And then a lawyer whose name you don't remember just emailed you back or texted you back and said, congratulations, you're married.
Mm-hmm. And the powers to be that are in charge of her inheritance said they needed that because there was a stipulation in her will. Her parents left, said you have to be married. Right. And it has to be someone that we can trust and that we know that he loves you, will take care of you.
You've seen the will.
I have not. You're
You've
killing
not
me.
seen
I'm
the
telling
will.
you.
But the will says it's got to be somebody we trust, not to be confused with some person on the internet that you've never met who signed a blank piece of paper and says we're married. That's right. Who did they turn down? How do they know they can trust you? All they got's your name on a blank piece of paper.
No, the police report, talked to friends. They had me investigated.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.